Strong engineering brands aren't just about great products, they're also about the way a company behaves, which creates positive experiences for customers. Entrepreneurs need to weave this behaviour into their company's core values from the very beginning, shaping their business model and carefully considering market positioning and brand values as they develop their business strategy. All of this is built on a solid understanding of brand principles, market dynamics, customer segments, and how to grow through brand extensions. So, what is a brand? At its most basic, a brand is a visual identity, a name, logo, or design style that sets a product or service apart from the competition. But a brand is more than just what you see. It's also what customers remember about their experiences with that brand, their emotional responses, as well as their perception of how well the product or service performs. In fact, you could say that your brand is more about how customers feel than about what they see. Brand values define how a brand cultivates this positive feeling or perception. While distinct from organisational values, they're closely related and may overlap. Together, these elements deliver customer value. So, while a visual identity is important, it's a company's principles and actions that truly forge a strong brand. Start by asking students to name various consumer and industrial brands and explain their positive or negative perceptions of those brands. Students can also discuss and suggest organisational behaviours or company cultures that can contribute to positive customer experiences. This can lead to a discussion about the emotional responses that brand identities evoke and the experiences that have shaped those responses. Through these discussions, students should come to understand that a logo is not the brand itself, but rather a visual cue that triggers associations. For any enterprise to succeed, it needs a sufficient number of customers to generate sales revenue and profit. Your market is the entire group of individuals or businesses that might potentially purchase your products or services. However, it's important to recognise that not all customers have the same needs. Each market is composed of segments, groups of customers with similar needs who may purchase your offerings in the same way or who are located in specific geographical regions. Segmentation is the process of using research to identify these customer groups and gain a thorough understanding of their needs. Your brand positioning describes your decisions about which customer segments to target and which product features to emphasise to those segments to create a positive link with them. Students can create a concept map for a product such as a mobile phone. They can break down this familiar market into its constituent segments. They can then expand on this by adding notes to each segment, indicating the product features or performance characteristics that customers in that segment are likely to prioritise. They could also research a brand within a market that interests them, for example, electric vehicles or industrial robotics, to identify the specific markets and segments that that brand serves. The Learner resource has 2 more tasks you could set for your students, focusing on market and customer segments. To achieve growth and scale up your enterprise, you'll need to reach new customers, thereby increasing your sales and profit. A strong brand identity and a trusted reputation are essential for this. Brand extensions involve introducing new products to your existing markets or expanding into entirely new markets. The Ansoff Matrix provides a framework for exploring how enterprises can scale up through new products and markets. And it's important to note that the Ansoff Matrix can be applied to analyse both entire markets and the individual customer segments within those markets. This film connects to the resource Scaling and Growth for Enterprise, which delves into the Ansoff matrix in greater detail and examines the organisational decisions and actions required to support brand extension. Emphasise that growth doesn't always mean simply producing more of the same products. It can also involve leveraging the same core values and resources to create new forms of customer value. Here's a case study to explore with your students. A startup company aims to produce a sustainable alternative to carbon fibre woven laminates, targeting applications in supercars and motor racing where weight and strength are critical. Traditional carbon fibre laminates are notoriously difficult to recycle, but this new product can be reprocessed back into its constituent fibres and resin matrix, allowing for reuse in less demanding applications. The founders recognise that potential customers will likely be sceptical and may be hesitant to switch due to the costs associated with obtaining safety certification for the new material. The founders need help to determine the brand positioning, to gain and build trust in the market, and establish themselves as a leader in sustainable composites engineering. To guide students in analysing this case study, remind them that customers will need to trust the new brand. Prompt them to consider where this trust will come from, encouraging them to unpack their ideas in terms of brand values, product performance, and evidence or proof. Remind students that brand positioning originates from the business model, and these initial ideas should evolve into the market positioning factors that the company will emphasise and promote. By understanding the multifaceted nature of branding, the importance of customer perception, and the strategies for effective market positioning and brand extension, your students will be well equipped to navigate the complexities of building successful engineering brands. Thanks for watching, and feel free to revisit this film and the wider series to recap.